What a picture. What a picture. Let's look at it for 1 second here. Let's just look at it for 1 second. That's me yesterday, Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, laying on the beach in front of a couple hundred people. Why? Well, simply because I don't give a shit. And I'm learning more and more to not give a shit about what other people say. Because you know why? Because a lot of people are just haters, bro. A lot of people are just miserable people. And the way they get off is by trying to make you miserable, by trying to take your fun away. See, now my camera's out here. It's been 60 in the house. It's like 80 out here. It's fogging up, but we're going to get through with this. We're going to get through this, guys. So the funny thing is, about 10 minutes before this picture, I almost crashed my kite into a couple older ladies. They were probably 60 or so, and we chatted it up for a second. But as we're laying on the beach, taking these photos, these ladies are pretty close, and they're watching. When we get up from taking the pictures, they start clapping. And I thought this was kind of weird, but kind of cool at the same time, right? Because what they were applauding was our audacity and willingness to make a fool of ourselves in order to get this picture. And I think that we take life way too serious sometimes, right? Like every day we're worried about bills and we're worried about the people we care for, but sometimes we forget to laugh. We forget to laugh. If you don't know who I am, my name's Jamie. This is my YouTube channel, and I like to talk about things that are positive. 70% of the things that people click on the internet are negative, and I like to focus on positive things over here. So if you'd like to hear some positive stuff, welcome. If you don't, keep scrolling. You might ask, Jamie, why do you care about something like this? Well, I'm going to tell you. So I grew up with a father who was a very, very negative impact on most people around him. He was just a negative person that pointed out every single possible bad thing in any scenario that he could. It didn't matter how great the scenario was, he's going to pick out the bad stuff. And as a kid, I kind of grew up like disliking this, knowing that this vibe that my father put off to me all the time was a negative vibe. It was something that I didn't want to do. But inherently, the same as I saw in my son, it's something that is inherent. I believe it is a trait that is handed down because I saw it in my uncle. I saw it in other relatives in my family coming down generations over like 80 years, right? So for me, I was like, yo, this is something that I dislike. This is something that I do not want to do. I do not want to be this negative thing that pushes people away from me, okay? So I started focusing on not doing that. And I'll tell you one of the biggest things that made this happen for me that really put it in place is I was in prison, and me and my buddy Arvis used to go to the lunchroom every day, right? We'd go to lunch, we'd go to dinner, whatever. We would walk in there together. And every single time we walked in, they have rice and beans. I fucking hated rice and beans. But I would come in every day and we would go around the tables and I'd be like, fucking rice and beans. Every single day, fucking rice and beans. One day, Arvis stopped and he looked at me and he said, Jamie, we come in here every day. You know there's going to be rice. You know there's going to be beans. But every single day you bitch about the rice and beans. I kind of stood there for a minute like, damn, okay, bro. But he was right. Because there was no changing that. The negative spin that I put on only made me feel worse. It only made me dislike it more. And then the fact that I spoke it out loud and gave it energy just made it worse. So I really started focusing then on like not doing that, right? Like not being that negative person that someone else is sitting there getting annoyed by to the point of having to call you out on your shit. That was probably 2006 or so. So what's that, man? Almost 20 years ago? So what do you consume? Is it good content? Is it bad content? Because 70% of content that goes viral is negative content. People will watch something with a negative connotation on it before they'll watch something positive. So I want to tell you about a poem that changed my life. I found this poem one day. It's called Invictus by William Ernest Henley. And William Ernest Henley wrote this poem while he was recovering or probably dying from TB. Here's how it goes. Just bear with me for 1 second because I think this is a powerful thing. So much so that I have it tattooed on my hand because the last verse of this poem literally stood out to me to a point that said, yo, this is something that you can do and only you can do. Out of the night that covers me, as black as the pit for pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. And in the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. And under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. It matters not how straight the gate or charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Now, I memorized that. I put that on a cabinet over top of my coffee pot 15 years ago, and I was going to tattoo it on my hand after I memorized it. So once I memorized it, I tattooed it on my hand. Now, that last verse, I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. What's that mean? For this guy, I think when he was writing it, he was on his deathbed. Good morning. But for me, it was letting me know that I didn't have to be what my father was. I didn't have to be that negative person. I didn't have to be that guy that pointed out everything online and commented in a negative way because I just had to get my opinion in there. And I used to do that. I used to get kicked off of Facebook regularly because somebody would say something and I would be offended by it. And I would get on there and rant and rave and cuss and call them stupid. And what did that do? Got me kicked off of Facebook. That's where I was running my business. So I couldn't even get the messages that I wanted in order to make money. So what was that doing for me? My negativity cost me money. This right here killed me. Like, I was like, this can't work. You know, this happened probably 3 times in a 6-month period and lost me a good bit of money. So I really started concentrating on, getting back to this because honestly, that was probably 5 years after I tattooed this on my hand that happened. So I started concentrating on how to be positive, how to make people laugh, how to be able to be a positive influence on even the randomest people. I'm going to tell you another story real quick. Probably been 3 months ago, we were coming back from a convention in 2 different cars, and our buddy had just got a Tesla. So when we stop at this, I think it was a Subway. We stop at the Subway, we pull up to the Subway. I'm in the passenger side of the other car. My buddy's in the Tesla. He pulls up. So when he comes out, I come around the other side and I'm like, hey, man, that's a nice Tesla, man. What does that thing run on electric, man? Oh my gosh, I've never seen one of these things right here before. So while I'm doing all this, me and him are just making fun. We're not even recording. This is just me, that's what I do. But this lady is coming into the Subway at the same time and she sees us. And I see her laughing and giggling and whatever, and we end up in the store, and I think we kind of got in front of her, we're still laughing and kicking and giggling. And this woman starts talking to us, There was a lot going on for her that day. And she actually came over and started talking to me after she ordered her sub. I was already eating. She came back over to the table. She sat down. She said, so I feel like you're the clown of the bunch. And I was like, yes, ma'am. And she's like, well, I needed this today. I'm glad I ran into you guys. I'm glad that you guys were able to brighten my day up just by going to a store to get a sub. Something like that. Anyways, I just thought that was really cool, man. And that, okay, don't, this is the key point. That is so much more important than trying to bring someone down, okay? As human beings, I think we naturally hate on people. Like, we naturally see someone doing better than us or being happier than us, and we want them to feel as bad as us. Don't be that person, man. Don't be that person. I have people like that around me, dude, and I'm telling you, those are the people I want to stay away from. And I used to be that guy. I remember being in prison when I first came to the medium. I was getting ready to do a program after I got out of the penitentiary. And in the penitentiary, it's big yard. It's big, hard yard. Don't let nobody see you, cry or smile or, right? So we get on the second yard and we're in this program. And some of these people are trying to get a year off their sentence for completing this program. And when it's lunchtime or something, in the penitentiary, I walk over and say, what's up, Jamie? Bah, 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 bah. We're all cool, chilling. When I walk over here, everybody run from me because I was still that guy. I was still that guy caught up in my criminal element. I still looked criminal. I still acted criminal. I still walked around like this, you know what I'm saying? And they knew I was trouble, so they gravitated away from me. Within 9 months, I became a peer assistant in that program. I was there for 9 months after that and got paid for teaching other people how to make the change that I had made because they all gravitated towards me at the end of this program. And I just found that amazing that I went from the person they literally ran from to the person they literally ran to. And that's what this channel's about, man. That's what this channel's about. It's about teaching you guys that you can be a different person if that's what you want to be. You have to set goals. You have to get up every day and grind. You have to stay focused. So if you're not focused on what you want to get, refocus your brain, man. You know, find something like this Invictus poem that will keep you dedicated to a goal over a long period of time to become the person that you want to be. Maybe you just want to quit using. Maybe you want to not be like your father. I get it. I get it. And I'm here to tell you that it's possible. I appreciate you watching. I'm going to pop this last picture up here real quick so you can take a look at my fat ass on this beach. But I did this because I want to not give a shit even more than what I already do. Till next time, don't sweat the petty things. Pet the sweaty things.